I've had so many people reach out to me over the last while, asking me about the hows of focused attention training and the hows of meditation and how to get started. And there are many, many, many answers to this, and there are many different levels to this. But I'm going to give you the way that I have taught hundreds of people how to start meditating, and the way that I believe is the quickest way for you to get from a state of I have absolutely no idea where to start to I have a start. And is it the way? Maybe not. Is it a way? Absolutely. I hope you enjoy this. All right, so let's talk about our conscious brain versus our subconscious brain, because this is where the story starts in terms of meditation, right? So this is our consciousness right there, our conscious brain, right? And here we have our subconscious brain. And our subconscious brain, also known as our ego, also known as our id, in Eastern philosophies, perhaps called our monkey brain, right? And so what our subconscious brain does is it picks up a whole bunch of information and it tallies this information. And what it starts doing is it starts constructing a picture of the universe, and it tells us stories. So it gives us a whole bunch of stories, and we can think of this as a thought. And so the problem for some of us who are ruminators, some of us who are overthinkers, some of us who suffer from anxiety, is that this picture of the world, this information that the subconscious brain picks up, could be negative. Now, why could it be negative? Well, because one of the jobs of the subconscious brain is to protect us. That's its job. It's there to protect us and to identify danger. So here it sees danger in the world, and it gives us a story, and the story is of danger. And what we do is we reinforce that story by listening to it and giving it attention. And then your subconscious brain goes, oh my gosh, I see what you want. So what I'll do is I'll give you more stories of danger. And so the rumination begins. And we can think of a rumination as a downward spiral in terms of thought patterns. Okay. So now the thought process is, why would you want to do focused attention training in the first place? Why? Well, it's very, very simple. What if we could control and manage right there our thought processes? And without any thought and without any manage, what our subconscious will do is it will show us thought after thought after thought, and there is no control. And that, of course, leads to the spiral. However, if we could do something, okay, focused attention training, right, like focused attention training, if we could do this, right, and we could get to the point where we could manage this, then would that not completely change our lives? And the answer is yes. So now the question is, how do we do it? So I'm going to draw my subconscious brain here. So let's go subconscious brain here. And so the first thing that we're taught is that when we're in a state of meditation or focused attention training, we should go into a state of no thought, right? And I mean, could you think of anything more ridiculous? There is no such thing as no thought. There is a period of time without thought after a lot of practice, but initially, there is no such thing as no thought. What there is there is an anchor. So we're going to see this as an anchor. All right, brilliant. So what our subconscious brain is going to do is we're going to sit down and we're going to use some sort of an anchor. Anchor could be breath work, right? It could be a candle. It could be sound. It could be music. It could be a guided meditation. It could be a host of things, right? And that depends on who you are. But let's say for argument's sake, we were going to use breath work, right, as a potential anchor point right in the center. And so what I do is I sit down and for a period of time, right, let's say 15 minutes, okay, I start focusing on one thought. And the one thought is my breath going in and my breath going out. One thought is an anchor point. And then what my subconscious brain's going to do is it's going to start throwing a tantrum and it's going to throw thoughts at me, right? And we're going to talk to these thoughts that it's going to give me as the frequency of thoughts, right? So it starts bombarding me with thought after thought. Get up, move, you're hungry, you don't have time for this, you should be doing more important things. What the hell are you doing? And so what I need to do is every single time I get pulled away from my anchor towards a thought and I return to my anchor, we can call that a bicep curl. Okay, and that's the first step in training. And what you need to do is a number of bicep curls. And then what your subconscious brain is going to do, because it has access to your unconscious brain too, where all your memories are stored, is it's going to give you a devious thought. It's going to go into file 13. It's going to pull out a devious thought here. It's going to run it by your defenses. And for 2 or 3 minutes, that bad boy is going to invade your consciousness until eventually you catch it. And what do? You return to thought, right? And as you return to thought on one of these, I call this a squat. And so what is the purpose of focused attention training? Well, it's to sit down and start doing a whole bunch of bicep curls and a whole bunch of squats. Because as I train this, so let's say I'm sitting for a 15-minute meditation, and let's say for the first 10 minutes, my subconscious brain is going to me, daddy, I need your attention. Please listen to me. Please listen to me. And as I slowly ignore and return and ignore and return and ignore and return, eventually your subconscious brain gets tired, right? And as it gets tired, it starts leaving you alone. And maybe for the last 5 minutes of that meditation, and for the first time in a very, very long time, you have a period where you have not no thought, less thoughts. And you have a period maybe of a little bit of peace. And you have a period of a little bit of control. And if you were to do that during the course of the day and over a period of time, would you not then start developing the capability to control your subconscious brain so that in the day while you were working, when your subconscious brain, once you start give you all these ruminations, that you had the ability to start stopping that, right? And stop is a strong word. Manage is a better word. Okay. Well, this makes sense to me. The why for focused meditation, focused attention training is to control the subconscious brain, the narrator. The how is to train it by doing bicep curls and by doing squats. And that is to focus on one specific thing, regardless of what it is, for a period of time and using that as an anchor. And that way I get to block and return to my anchor as my subconscious brain gives me thought after thought after thought until such a time as I can quieten her. Okay, so now, where, when, and how? Your subconscious brain wants absolute order and it wants routine, it wants addiction. And so we're going to use that in our focused attention training. We're going to use that to our advantage. So what I would suggest is pick a specific time. Pick a specific place. How you sit is completely irrelevant, other than the fact that I would allow my breathing channel to be up. I don't want to be sit hunched down, right? I just want to be able to breathe nicely, because breath is such an amazing anchor point for so many beginners. And so if I go to the same place at the same time for a period of 15 minutes repeatedly, what I'm saying to my subconscious brain is, at this time, we're going to do this thing that you don't like. But I want you to listen to me, because I'm the manager, right? Not the boss. I'm the manager. And let's just go through this process together. And the more sporadic you make your meditations, the harder it is to get control of your subconscious brain. This is just my opinion. And so it is far easier for us to do it in such a way where we create that routine and we create that routine. There is an app called Insight Timer, INSIGHT, Insight Timer. It's unbelievable. Log on for free. There are thousands and thousands of apps. Go to meditation, click 15 minutes, sit down, do the thing, give yourself complete permission to suck at it, because as we've just seen, you're starting a training regimen that you've never done before, like going to the gym where you would suck at doing squats or bicep curls if you've never done them before. Give yourself the permission to suck at it. Know that for the first while, it is going to be chaotic. And every single bicep curl you do and every squat you do
is one step closer to you taking control. So this is a completely different way of thinking about focused attention training. The more thoughts that I get to block and the more thoughts that I have to block at the beginning is more reps that I do. So don't worry about that. Just worry about doing the work. Just worry about doing the repetition. And I guarantee you, over a period of time, you will start taking control of your subconscious brain. You will start taking control of overthinking. You will start taking control over ruminating. You will better manage your anxiety. You will create a better relationship with your subconscious brain and your intuitive side of your life. And maybe if you're religious and spiritual, somewhere in there, you go into a prayer, and maybe in there somewhere, your still small voice says something to you. But if you're so busy all the time doing things and having thoughts, when do you ever have time just to listen?